The 1970s were a golden age of dusty highways, AM radio magic, and country bands that once ruled the airwaves. Back then, groups like the Ozark Mountain Daredevils were quietly shaping the country rock sound.
I got stones on the mountain.
And higher up this list, one harmony-driven powerhouse nearly owned the decade. These are 10 country bands from the 70s that once felt larger than life, but somehow slipped through the cracks of time. Number 10, the Amazing Rhythm Aces. The Amazing Rhythm Aces slide into our countdown at number 10, a band that blended country soul with smooth Southern storytelling. Formed in the early 1970s, the Tennessee-based group hit their stride in 1975 with Third-Rate Romance, which climbed to number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100. Signed to ABC Records, they carved out a sound that sat comfortably between country, blues, and soft rock. Critics loved them, but radio never fully committed. Behind the scenes, the band struggled with label changes and shifting musical trends, which slowed their momentum just as they were gaining traction.
You came back with a key.
Still, picture a dim roadside bar in 1976, neon beer signs glowing while that laid-back groove hums from the jukebox. They owned that moment. Though often overlooked today, their genre-blending style helped pave the way for the smoother country crossovers that followed in the late 70s and beyond. Number 9. The Kindles. Landing at number 9, the Kindles brought pure family harmony to the country charts during the late 70s boom. This father-daughter duo, Royce and Jeannie Kendall, struck gold in 1977 with Heaven's Just a Sin Away, released on Ovation Records. The song shot to number 1 on the Billboard Hot Country chart and even crossed into the Pop Top 70, a rare feat for traditional country acts at the time. But success came with pressure. Ovation Records soon folded, leaving the duo scrambling to maintain their momentum without strong label backing. Even so, you could hear their voices pouring out of kitchen radios across small-town America. Especially on slow Sunday mornings when country felt most personal. While later decades pushed them out of the spotlight, the Kindles remain one of the purest harmony acts of the late 70s country scene. Number 8. The Ozark Mountain Daredevils. At number 8, we find the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, the Missouri group that quietly helped shape country rock's softer side. Formed in 1972 and signed to A&M Records, the band broke through with Jackie Blue in 1974, which soared to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Their blend of country textures and breezy rock melodies made them radio favorites for a brief but powerful stretch. Ironically, their easygoing sound sometimes worked against them. They were too country for rock stations and too rock for traditional country playlists. Still, imagine cruising a 2-lane highway in a sun-faded pickup, windows down, that smooth harmony floating through the speakers. That was their sweet spot. Though they never fully sustained mainstream dominance, the Daredevils helped define the laid-back country rock mood that dominated much of the mid-70s airwaves. Number 7. The Bellamy Brothers.
If I swore you were an angel, would you treat me like the devil.
Number 7 belongs to the Bellamy Brothers, a duo that briefly felt unstoppable during the mid-70s crossover wave. Howard and David Bellamy exploded onto the scene in 1976 with Let Your Love Flow, released on Curb Records.
Or ask you what I really wanna know.
The song hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became an international smash, reaching audiences far beyond traditional country borders. But here is the twist. That massive pop success actually boxed them in. Country radio took time to fully embrace them, and they spent years rebuilding their core audience. Even so,
But Daddy always told me don't make small talk.
you could hear that bright, feel-good melody pouring out of summer cookouts and backyard radios everywhere in 1976. Though they later found steady country success, many casual listeners remember them only for that one massive moment. Yet their influence on country pop crossover remains undeniable. Number 6, the Marshall Tucker Band.
Gonna take a freight train down at
Sliding into number 6, the Marshall Tucker Band brought a Southern jam band spirit that blurred the line between country and rock. Formed in South Carolina in 1972 and signed to Capricorn Records, the group broke wide open with Can't You See, and later Heard It in a Love Song, which reached number 14 on the Hot 100 in 1977.
gonna buy a ticket as far as I can.
But constant touring and lineup changes slowly wore the group down. The late 70s music landscape was shifting fast, and their free-flowing style became harder to market in a more polished radio era. Still, their music defined countless late-night drives across the American South, especially for fans who liked their country with a little extra grit. Their legacy lives on in the country rock movement, even if their name does not come up as often as it once did.
That's how girls was.
If these forgotten favorites are bringing back memories, take a second to hit like and subscribe. We share new country countdowns every week, keeping the golden years of music alive for fans who still remember when radio really meant something. Number 5, the Statatler Brothers.
You're concerned about my happiness. But all that
At number 5, the Statatler Brothers stand as one of the most successful vocal groups country music ever produced. Originally rising alongside Johnny Cash in the 1960s, the group dominated the 70s with hits like Flowers on the Wall and Bed of Roses.
last night I dressed in tails, pretended I was on the town.
Throughout the decade, they racked up multiple CMA and Grammy wins while recording for Mercury Records. Here is what makes their story interesting. Despite massive success at the time, their clean-cut image and traditional style raised them to fade from mainstream conversation as country music shifted toward the outlaw movement.
And my shoes are not accustomed to this hard country.
Still, their harmonies once filled living rooms across America, especially on Saturday nights when families gathered around the radio. Though modern playlists rarely spotlight them, the Statatler Brothers helped define the polished vocal group sound that many country acts still chase today. Number 4, the Dirt Band. Number 4 brings us the Dirt Band, later known as the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, one of the most influential crossover groups of the decade. Their 1972 album, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, was a landmark collaboration that bridged generations of country musicians. Released on United Artists Records, it became a cultural milestone that critics still praise today. But success did not always translate to consistent chart dominance. The band constantly shifted styles, which made them harder to categorize in the late 70s marketplace. Even so, their music echoed through countless front porches and rural radio stations, especially among fans who loved country with deep roots. Today, music historians recognize their importance, but casual listeners often overlook just how big their impact once was during country music's most transformative decade. Number 3, the Outlaws.
I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend.
Crashing in at number 3, the Outlaws brought long-haired Southern swagger into the country rock conversation. Signed to Arista Records in the mid-70s, the Florida-based band scored big with Green Grass and High Tides and built a reputation for explosive live shows.
I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry.
Their triple guitar attack made them stand out in a crowded Southern rock field. But internal changes and the crowded late 70s rock landscape slowly cooled their momentum. Still, in packed arenas filled with denim and cigarette smoke, the Outlaws once delivered some of the loudest country-leaning rock performances of the era.
Well, if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine.
Though time has pushed them slightly off the mainstream radar, their influence still echoes through modern Southern country rock acts who chase that same wide-open highway sound. Number 2, Asleep at the Wheel.
I was born in Louisiana, down on the old bayou.
Taking the runner-up spot, Asleep at the Wheel kept Western swing alive when many thought the style had already ridden off into the sunset. Formed in 1970 and later signed to Capitol Records,
I just ask any cowboy, he'll tell you that it's the best.
Texas-based band revived Bob Wills' inspired swing with albums like Wheelin' and Dealin' and a string of Grammy wins throughout the decade. Ironically, their dedication to classic sound sometimes limited their mainstream reach during the more rock-leaning late 70s.
I saw miles and miles of Texas.
But step into any Texas dance hall in 1975 and you would likely hear their tight, joyful rhythms keeping boots moving across the floor. Even today, musicians credit Asleep at the Wheel for preserving an entire branch of country music history that might have otherwise faded away. Number 1, Alabama.
Holding my lover with the other.
At the top of our list sits Alabama, the band that completely reshaped country music heading into the 1980s. Formed in Fort Payne, Alabama, the group spent years grinding through small clubs before exploding nationally around 1979 with RCA Records.
A little turn it up and on a Mason-Dixon night.
Their polished harmonies and arena-ready sound quickly made them one of the biggest country acts in America. What many forget is just how risky their early sound seemed. Traditionalists initially questioned their rock-influenced production, but fans knew better.
Hold her up tight, make a little loving.
Their songs poured out of pickup truck radios, roller rinks, and small-town jukeboxes across the country. Alabama did not just succeed, they changed the blueprint for country bands moving forward. If you've enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like and subscribe for more country classics every week, and there you have it. 10 country bands that once filled the airwaves of the 1970s but slowly faded from everyday conversation. These groups helped shape the bridge between classic country, Southern rock, and the modern Nashville sound we know today. If these names stirred up a few memories, you are exactly why we keep these stories alive. Be sure to join us for our next countdown, where we dive into 10 overlooked country guitarists who outplayed the legends and watch a new decade change the sound of country forever. Until then, Keep the music close and the memories even closer.